Hi Nishai, so good morning. So I go through your profile, which is your resume, updated resume. I think you are in 2.3 years of software testing, right? So
Yes,
have you experience in both automation and manual?
yes, both.
How many years of experience in automation?
I was doing both simultaneously, so you can like consider as 2.3 on both.
Okay, so what are the tools have you used on before?
It is Selenium and with the programming language as Java.
Okay, so what type of testing you are taken in manual?
In manual web automation test cases, web test cases, and some SOAP UI test cases.
Okay, so how many years of experience in manual?
Manual is also like 2.3. It is both. So like some sanity test cases, like we automate, and like manual also like we do.
Okay, you mean to say you have to work in both, right? In parallelly, you are
Yes,
working with automation manual. Okay, good.
yes.
So then, could you please tell me your project experience and what is your working environment? Could you please tell me about yourself? Brief.
Yes. My name is Nischay. So I have like 2.3 years experience in testing. I have worked on both the automation and the manual testing. I have worked on two projects so far. One is PeopleSoft. So it is related to Oracle data management, and the one more project is related to banking sector. So in the second project, I did test cases on web automation and as well as web manual, and also I did manual test cases on SOAP UI, the API testing manual. So API testing is like manual, like we didn't automate the API testing.
Okay, so are you having experience in banking sector, right?
Yeah, yes, correct.
So what type of testing you are taken in banking side?
So we did ST and SIT testing. So it is an portal where we have integration of POS machines. So we basically like manage all the transactions, the fees, and all those things, like with the integration with the POS machine.
Okay, you
Like
mentioned in banking site created and executed smoke and sanity regression, right? When you will be taken regression suit?
what?
So,
When
yeah, when we will handle regression testing.
so smoke testing, if there is
No, I'm
any
asking only for regression testing.
okay, regression testing, like if there is any new build and if there is any minor changes,
Mm-hmm.
so we'll be running our regression test suite.
Okay, so have you experience in Jira itself, right?
Yes, we the bug tracking tool I was using Jira.
Okay, so when we'll raise the defect in Jira, in which stage you have to report to developer team?
So when we got the build and there is a mismatch between the use case which we got and the actual software, so we raise a defect.
Okay, what is the what is the status you are tracking that defect? How you know that? What is the status of that defect?
So first, initially when we raise the defect, we'll keep the defect status as open, and the priority, how much test case it is impacting, and we'll assign it to the developer. So once the developer fixed it, he will change the status back to fixed. So after it is deployed, he will change the status to ready for retest. So once he change for ready for retest, it will be assigned back to me. So once it is assigned back to me, so I'll retest the defect and attach all the evidence, and I'll close the defect.
Okay, good. So what is the priority and severity? How you can handle the situation?
So priority in the sense, how much test case it is impacting, like sorry, its severity. So if there is one defect which is impacting like some 10 20 test cases, it is like major blocker, will keep the severity as high. And the priority usually like the developer keeps it like based on his priority. So if the severity is high, so usually the priority the developer will choose to keep it as high.
Okay, good. So can you please give me your rate out of 5 in Java?
I can rate as 3.
3. Okay, so can we start in Java part?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so I think your total years of experience 2.3. So I just asking for your. I hope you are working in framework level also, right?
Yes, I'm working in
Okay,
framework.
so do you know method overriding?
Yeah.
So what is use of method overriding?
So it is basically like overriding the parent behavior. So suppose if there are two class, you can say like class A and class B.
Mm-hmm.
And in class A there is a method called something called show. And inside method, like there may be something. And in class B, we'll be extending the class A, and we'll be having the same method name. And inside method, like we'll be having something. So once we execute that, it will override the parent behavior, and it will like execute the child behavior. So to like if you want to like execute the parent behavior, like we can use Superclass.
Okay. So you mean to say we have to implement the superclass object inside subclass? That time
No,
we can use, huh?
like no, not like that. Like if you want like the parent behavior, at that time we can use Superclass. Else it will usually like override the parent behavior, and it will displace the child behavior.
No. I'm asking what is the use of method? When you have to use the superclass method or subclass method?
It is like subclass method only. Like we'll use subclass method.
Subclass method? Okay.
Yeah. And it can like it only works on inherited method only, and it should be non-static and not non-final methods, and it should have same return types, so then only we can override it.
Okay, then only we can override, right? So what is the purpose of we are using method overriding? That was my question.
Okay, so suppose like if you can take an example of some program called like plain. So we'll have a class called plain, and we'll have two methods. You can say like fly, and you can say like
Yeah,
we'll
could you
have a
please open your chat? You can type there itself, no problem.
okay. So we'll be having one class
Or
called
else you can right click on there in corner, the three dots, click on that whiteboard,
okay. I'll open the
short to
whiteboard.
new whiteboard. There you can get whiteboard. You can type there itself. You
Okay.
can share me that. Can you able to
Okay. Yeah.
yeah,
I'm
find it, right?
creating it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
you can share me.
So you're able to see?
Yeah, I can see. Can you please start to
Okay.
write there?
Okay.
Can you please share your screen?
Okay. Let me share.
Yeah, you can start to write now.
Oh yes.
You just type, just typing.
Okay, this one, right? So we'll have a class called plain, and inside that we'll have some method called fly. So after that, like we'll have one more class called you can say like a cargo plane something. Then we'll have the same method called fly. Then we'll create one more class. We can call it as airport. So inside airport, we can.
If you feel uncomfortable, you can open Notepad. It's just no problem.
Okay.
Because this we need to each and every time we have to maximize that.
Or else, is it fine if I open Eclipse?
Yeah. Okay.
Or,
fine.
Yeah.
Open Eclipse. Create new class.
Yeah. Maybe like you can use this one.
No. You can create a separate package. You can do that.
Okay.
Or else no need. Better you can use Notepad. It is fine. No need Eclipse. Notepad. Minimize that Eclipse. Okay. Yeah.
So I'll just copy it. Okay, I think I can't. So there will be a class called plane.
Or else you can copy from that. It will take time, right?
I try to copy. Okay, it's okay. So like we'll have one class called plane, and inside that there will be a method called fly, and here also we'll have one more class called cargo plane, and we'll have the same method called fly. So here we'll create one more class called airport, and here we'll call. Okay, here like we need to extend the plane. And here we'll call this one, we'll write the class name plane, and we'll create one reference value.
Okay.
So after that, we can use that reference value and call the fly.
Okay, fine. So here, which is the superclass, which is the subclass?
Okay, like this is the superclass.
You are right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is the subclass. So like we can also call this a child class and parent class.
Okay, fine. So next is okay. What is the difference between this keyword and super keyword?
So this keyword will point it to the current instance.
Okay.
And super keyword, it is used to, like, suppose if you want to like mimic the parent behavior. So here so this is a child class, right? So here if you want to, like, it is overrided here. So if you don't want to get overrided, we can use the super class here.
So what superclass going to be do? What is the use of your defined super keyword there?
So we can get the parent behavior here. So if we run this test case, we'll be getting, if there is no super class, we'll be getting this void fly, which is in the child class.
Before you told that cargo plan only superclass, right? How you can say the plan is superclass now?
Okay. So is the plane superclass?
Yeah, yes, right. Before you did wrong. This is the one. Okay, I just correct you.
Okay. So yeah, plane is the superclass. So once we use the super keyword, like we can get them like this method here, like instead of this one.
What is the use of this keyword?
So this keyword, it always points to the current instance. Suppose if there is some class and we are having one string something str, and we are also having one more string called string str.
Yeah, okay, fine. It's fine, fine. I will move to the next questions. So, do you
Okay.
know abstraction?
Yeah.
So, what is abstraction?
Uh, it is like hiding the actual implementation and hiding the actual behavior and showing only implementation to the user. So that is called abstraction.
Okay.
So in abstraction, like we can only define a method and we can't implement it. So we can only define a method like word fly, but we can't define it like something inside it.
So,
And
can a abstract class be final in Java?
abstract class, uh, I think like no, like we can't. It can't be final
Why?
because like once we make it final, like we can't change it. It's like constant. So for abstract, like we'll only be like defining the method and will not be implementing it.
Okay,
So
so yeah, okay, fine.
so
So, when we'll use upcasting?
subcasting, typecast,
Upcasting,
sub.
upcasting,
Up,
upcasting.
okay, upcasting. Okay, I'm not sure about this one. Like I
Okay,
studied, like it has been long ago.
okay, okay. Do you aware of it runtime polymorphism?
Runtime polymorphism, right?
Hmm. Okay,
Yeah.
then okay, no problem, fine. Okay, so why use interface?
Uh, like in Java, like
Mm-hmm.
multiple inheritance is not supported.
Okay,
So like to support that, we'll be using interface.
so
And
how the interface will support multiple inheritance? How we can achieve that?
um,
So you said
so we'll
interface will support multiple inheritance, okay, right? So how we
yes.
can achieve multiple inheritance using interface?
So if you use interface in like if you use interface instead of class, it will
Mm-hmm.
like you can only like define the method which is only unique.
Can you please
S
write the code if you?
yeah. So we can tell interface and we can give any name, and inside that you can define any method, but like you can't implement it. And if I write the same method like word fly, like I'll get error. So I can't write the same name of the methods. And to implement it, like and we can say like class A implements the interface name. And here like we
So
need
this is
to
multiple inheritance. This is not multiple inheritance. This is in
no, this is not multiple
yeah.
inheritance. Like
Okay.
okay, but if you want multiple inheritance, like you can create two interface. So and we can implement both A and B.
Okay.
So like now it is like multiple inheritance. So here we need to define like implement the method, like give it definition. Like otherwise we need to like make it as abstract.
Okay. Good. So if I'm not using interface, what is the issue I'm facing in multiple inheritance? Why we are not able to achieve multiple inheritance without using interface? What is the issue?
Okay, like suppose if like instead of implements, if I say like extends and this will be class and I'll be having the same name. So now like Java will be confused like which one to choose, like which method to choose. whether to choose the B1 or A1. So like to avoid this confusion, we'll Java supports only interface.
Okay, what is that error name?
Diamond problem.
No. Okay. Okay, I will move to next. So can we override interface method?
No.
Why?
So
We are not able to override interface method?
we can override.
How?
So this will be interface and this will also be interface. So suppose will be implement. So suppose if we are like overriding, okay, like instead of extents we are using implements.
Okay, I will
So
jump
yeah,
into the next one. So what is encapsulation?
okay, like the process of providing the private member of the class. What do you say? The process of providing like the controlled access to the private member of the class. So you should declare the like variable as private, and you need to create public classes to like get and set the methods.
Okay, what is the purpose of we are using encapsulations? What is the process taking over there?
Okay, like the main thing, it is for security and also for data hiding.
Mm-hmm.
So suppose if you say like we have one class called book, and in class we'll be having one variable which is pages and it is private. So if someone tries to like from the main class, if someone tries to give the page number as negative number, so in the getters and setters we can use the if loop and control that, so that people can't modify like the necessary things, like people can't give negative number for the pages, so we can control it with getters and setters.
Okay, so how to invoke parent class method?
By creating the objects. We can also use like a static. If you use like static, we can just give the class name dot method name, and like we can invoke the parent
So
class
what is
methods.
mean by invoke? How to invoke parent class method? I'm asking parent class method. Invoke means what? You are going to be used. Okay.
Like uh, like invoke means like you can like to call it. So suppose if you make this class as static, and we want to call this method called fly, so like there is no need to create a class, we can just give the class name, suppose like a dot and the method name as fly, so we'll be able to call.
Okay, so when we can directly use class name dot method name, how we can
So
use it?
if it is static, we can use that. So
Okay, how
if
we can invoke parent class method in subclass?
okay, in subclass we can use extends keyword.
Okay, is there anything?
I can use like extends. Other than that, class.
Okay, so why abstract method cannot be static?
So because in abstract method, like once we declare it as abstract,
Mm-hmm.
So like we can't implement the method. So suppose if this class is abstract, like we can't provide the implementation. So if we make the abstract class as final, so like we'll not be able to provide the implementation for the method.
Okay. So what is difference between error and exception?
Okay, error is something like it may be like syntax error, or maybe like the error which we make while coding. The exception is something like the compiler throws it, and we can handle the exception. Suppose like there are different types of exception, like arithmetic exception, null pointer exception.
Mm-hmm.
So like we can handle the exception, but like we can't handle the errors. Like errors need to be clear, right? But exception can be handled.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. How you can handle the exception in code?
So we can use a try and catch block.
Okay.
So in try block, we can place the actual code, and in catch block, we can mention the exception, and we can catch the exception there. So like the code will continue to execute even if there is any exception.
Okay. So what are the exceptions you are facing in your project?
So mainly it is null pointer exception. Like if the driver has no life, so we'll be getting null pointer exception. And in also like in data driven, like if there is some like issue with Excel, there will be getting null pointer exception. And path not found exception. Like if we give the path or like Excel path or any driver path is wrong, we'll be getting that. And array index out of bound exception, like if you use a annotation data provider, so we'll be getting the array index out of bound exception.
Okay.
And
Okay,
like no
fine.
such element.
So what are the different ways to create string object? Could you please write?
Okay, so you can like you can create in like constant pool, and you can create the like string in constant and non-constant pool. So the one way is like string s1 equal to, like you can say something. So the one more way is like string s1 equal to new string, and then we can declare something, like you can declare something here.
Okay. So this is the, I send you in chat in welcome. So here I want to remove the last letter E. How I can remove using string?
Uh, uh, you need to remove.
Welcome. So I will give you welcome. The word is welcome. And this
Okay.
welcome I have to remove the last word E. Can you please write the program?
Yeah.
How to remove the
So
specific character?
yeah, like we can take the welcome in one string,
Mm-hmm.
and then we can like get the length of it. um, get the length of the string. Like we can directly mention it like -1 to use it in the loop, and then we'll create one loop. So like here will be like once the loop runs, we'll be getting all the letters here.
So what method we are using for removing character in string? What is the method is available? This character at what will do?
Like caret of I, you're asking?
Yes. Are you done
Or else
programming?
like we can use the inbuilt method called like substring. So based on like substring, like we can filter out the E, like instead of this one. So like we have got the length here. Then we can mention like s1 dot substring.
Okay.
So the total length will be like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can mention like total length minus 1. So
Okay.
like it will always like remove the last character.
Okay.
So then we can put this in some integer and like we can like sys out it. Okay, like you actually need the string, right? So we can put it in one string and like display it. So like whatever we give in S1, like it will minus the last character and give it as output.
Is it right? Will
Yeah.
execute this program?
Yeah.
Okay. So next is I will give you one 3 string,
Okay.
which is first one is hi, hello, hi.
Okay.
So here you have to store into array. There you can find duplicate elements. So how to find duplicate elements in array?
Okay.
Hi, hello, hi.
So we can create one array and like insert it. We have created one array and inserted the elements. It's a string, right?
Done.
Yeah. So I took two loops and I'll be comparing the array elements.
Okay. You done?
Yeah.
Okay. What is the difference between length and length? I give you the chat bot. In chat, I will ping you. Did you get right?
Yeah.
What is the difference between length and length? 1 minute.
Okay, this one, right?
Yes. Have you got the chat right?
Yeah. So this length without function, we can, we'll be using it in arrays.
Which one?
The one without function, the one which is highlighted. So the other one with function, we'll be using it on directly on strings.
Are you sure?
Even this one, it is applicable on string objects, you can say, and this one you can use it on arrays.
So for the first one you are telling about to string, the second one is array.
No. This first one is for arrays, and second one is for string objects.
Okay, fine.
And we can also use for string builder, string tokenizer, for all those things. The one with function, this one, last one.
Okay. So what happen if we are using without catch block?
Okay.
So what happened?
Suppose if you have statement 1, statement 2, and statement 3, and statement 4. Suppose if some exception occurred at statement 2, and if you are not catching the exception, the program will halt here only, and it will not execute the next statement. So to avoid that, we'll be using catch block, and we'll catch the exception so that the program will continue to execute.
Okay. So what are the runtime exception? Can you please tell me runtime exception which you are facing in your project?
That the null pointer exception and array index out of bound exception, and element not found exception, element not visible, and these are the main one. The null pointer exception, we face if the driver has no life, and if there is some issue with the Excel sheet, so there we'll be facing more null pointer exception.
Okay, what is the difference between array index out of bounds and array store exception?
Array index out of bound, and the other one?
Array store exception.
Array store.
Yes.
So array index out of bound exception comes if we declare the array size as something 2, and if you are trying to access more than that, we'll be getting array index out of bound exception. And the other one you asked was array
store exception.
Array store. Array store.
Okay. So next we can jump into Selenium. Can it be rating Selenium out of 5?
Selenium I can rate it as 3.
3, okay. So how to handle drag and drop and specific location point?
So for that, we can use actions class, and in actions class we have a method called drag and drop. So that method will be accepting two parameters. One is the source one, and the other
Could you
one
please
is
write that syntax of action and the how we can drag and drop in specific locations point?
okay. So we need to declare the action class first, and we need to pass a driver inside that. And then we can directly use the action method, and can use drag and drop. And here the first one will be source web element, and the second one will be a destination web element where we need to drop our this thing, drag and drop thing.
So is it
So
right?
yeah, there is one more thing. If you want to drag and drop by XPath, you can say
No, I want to
drag.
move the specific location point. That's what I'm asking.
So with the XPath you're asking.
Yeah, export normally we can take in, but how we can move that object in specific location point? That's what my question.
So we can use drag and drop by, and then we can use x offset and y offset, the x-axis and y-axis one.
Okay, can you please write that one?
Yes, so we can write drag and drop by. So here you need to specify the source, and then x-axis and y-axis. So it accepts 3 parameters.
Okay. So next is how to create object for alert class.
Okay, for alerts, we can directly alerts dot switch to alert. We can use that directly alert dot switch to instead of creating that.
Can you please tell me clearly?
Okay, so if there is any alerts, we can switch it as alert dot switch to alerts, and in alerts we have accept, dismiss.
Why we are using dismiss?
Suppose if you want to click on cancel button or something like the negative thing other than okay, so we'll be using the dismiss button. So if you want to accept anything, at that time we'll be using accept method.
Okay. So tell me the method name to taking a screenshot of the application.
So we'll use take screenshots as.
Sorry, come again.
We'll use takes screenshot as.
This is the method name?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Sorry. I think it get the screenshot as.
Okay, fine, good.
So get screenshot as, and we need to upcache that with driver, and then you need to type the output type as file, and then we can create the file util and copy the source file to the destination.
How to identify a frame in web application?
So to identify a frame, there are 3 ways. One is by index, and one is by name or ID, and other one is by.
I'm asking how to identify frame in web application. Clear my question.
Okay. So we can use like driver dot find element by tag name, and in find.
This
Okay, we
is
need to use
for
driver dot.
handling the frame. I am asking how to identify a frame.
Okay, like in tag name, like if you specify the tag name as iframe, like you can find the number of frames.
Mhm.
So if you use like driver dot find elements
Okay,
and
that
by
is
tag
we are
name,
handling in code. So once you can confirm frame, then only have to do that one, right? Okay.
yes, or else like we can look in the like the source code and find any word called frame or iframe or frame set. Then
Mhm.
like we can confirm it is frames, or else if you try to locate something and if you are not able to like locate or click on it, so then we can like confirm it that is as frame.
Okay, so what are the interface using for taking screenshot in Selenium?
Okay, interface.
No,
Inter like method we'll be using it like the get screenshot as
I am asking interface.
interface.
What are the
Okay,
interface you guys? Okay, fine. We can jump in the next one.
okay.
To how to handle multiple frames.
So like there are like three ways to identify the frames. Like one is by name or ID, and the other one is by index, and the other one is by web element. So like once we like confirm the frame, we can say like driver dot switch to dot frame, and either we can mention the web element or index or name or ID. And once we like jump into the frame, like we can do whatever action we want, and while coming back, you can just like say as driver dot switch to default content, so it comes back to the parent frame.
I am asking multiple frames, right? You are telling a different way.
Okay, the multiple window one, like the one which is get window handles, that one.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. There is multiple frames. How you can handle?
So like we can use the method called driver dot get window handles
That is window. This is frame.
window.
I'm asking multiple frames, not for multiple window.
Okay. I can like we can get the size of the frame like
Mm-hmm.
by using the find elements and at the
Mm-hmm.
end dot size,
Mm-hmm.
and by using the like for loop we can like navigate inside the frames like if there are multiple frames.
Okay. So how to scroll web page up, upside?
Um, so that we can like do it by actions class.
Can it be right?
Okay, no, the scrolling, I think we need to do it by JavaScript executor.
Yes. Can it be right that one?
Yes, so we can say JavaScript
Mm-hmm.
executor JS equal to. Okay, we need to typecast it with the driver,
Okay.
and then we need to say JS dot execute,
Mm-hmm.
and here like we can use what do you say like window window dot scroll by,
Mm-hmm.
and then we can specify the x-axis and y-axis.
Yeah, that's what main part. Based on the
Okay.
xy points only, it will scroll up and down, bottom, vertical like that.
Okay, like to scroll into bottom.
No, I'm asking only scroll up only. I have to mention that which point we have to adjust for that.
Okay, like scroll to, we use it to scroll for bottom. To scroll up, to scroll up for any element, you can specify that by element.
Okay, fine. Next, so how to find more than one web element in list?
More than one web element.
Yes.
Like we can use like driver dot find elements.
Mm-hmm.
So then we can give the specify the web element which has like more than one XPath.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end, like if you give the like dot size, we'll be getting the size of that web, like how many web elements are present. Like if you want to do any operation, like you can do it with the help of for loop.
Okay, how to click the this? There is 10 element. Okay, I'm going to be click the sixth element. How we can do that?
uh, like we can do that, like we can write the XPath like till that, and if it has like same tag name, we can use like with the help of square bracket we can specify the number which you want to click. Suppose if you want to click like third element, so it will locate the third element.
Can you please write?
Okay.
Can you please tell me that clearly?
Okay, suppose like we'll be using absolute XPath, and if it is anchor tag, and like there is something called class equal to like something, and so once if we give this, we are getting like 6 elements. So suppose if you want to click for the third element, we'll give it as 3, so it will like locate the third element.
Mm-hmm. So next is, can you please open site map my tree?
Okay. I prepared. Okay.
So here, can you please take XPath for this whole things, which is flights, hotels, villas,
Okay.
holidays, trains, everything.
Yeah, we are able to locate it.
Using XPath access.
Okay.
Okay, I will give you one mini statement. Okay, so you can try yourself. Once you can complete, you can submit me. Okay, so what is the statement means? Open Mac my trip. So the scenario you have to cover Selenium plus Java. Okay.
Okay.
So there, after clicking on flights, you can choose the next day or the next week. The departure time you can select April 22.
Okay.
Click on search.
Okay.
So there is some list will be displayed. 1 minute, it's loading. It's loading. So here you have to select the third one.
Okay.
So I want the Indigo flight. Okay, you have to select.
Okay, like click on this one.
Yeah, you have to go to click on book now.
Okay.
Up to this page, you have to validate.
Okay.
This is the statement I'm going to give you. You can note all the steps. You can maximize the notepad.
Yeah, so go to
Clear everything, no problem. Clear everything. Okay.
So go to make my trip, and then like select the date as 22nd April. Click on search and select the third result,
which is only Indigo. The so yeah, Indigo. But third one, don't select first one or second one, which is after the first list, which is displayed Indigo. You can select the Indigo option. Okay.
Okay.
You can print that one also, and you have to print what are the flight ticket is more than 4,500 or which is print ticket which is highest 4,000.
Like which is more than 4,000.
Or less than less than 4,000. Better less than 4,000.
Okay. Actually, like there is no less than 4,000.
That is your scenario, whether print or not print. Then after clicking on book now, you have to verify the what you clicked, the flight details displayed or not. You have to verify.
Okay.
So the same flight will be coming or not. So here the condition is you should use XPath access.
Okay.
For each steps you have to put some condition, some validations.
Okay.
Validations, asset. So that's what validation. Okay, you have to verify each title and that confirmation page, which you have to do that validation. Okay, this is the mini assessment I give you. You should submit within 2 days. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, it's almost our interview done. So we have to take around 1 hour. Okay, so again I will take Selenium part.
Okay.
So I will tell you that some improvement tips for you. You are good in program itself. You are very good in programming, but when you are trying to explain the answer right, you have to tell in clearly and briefly. Okay. You just tell what is what, then you can give example. Directly don't give example. That time the interviewer get confused. Okay. First you have to
Okay.
understand the concept, then you have to tell the example. Okay.
Okay.
And whenever you can try to write the program, you should verify yourself whether you are right or wrong. Can it please go up? Which is I tell you one program, right? Which is you mentioned length. Okay, I'm having that program.
Okay.
So there you forget for mentioning that string dot length. You just mention I less than length. So which length you have to
Okay.
mention?
Okay.
String length or
Okay.
which length? In that case, you missed out some important point. Okay. And
Okay.
next
Okay.
thing is
Great.
the
Yeah.
small mistake you did. You just improve that one. Being strong in Java concept. Importantly, OOPS concept. Okay, so you just confirm which is superclass, which is subclass, and don't be confused that interviewer will collapse you. That time you can stable in the right point. Okay, don't give up the right answer.
Okay.
And next thing is I will tell you what are the questions you did wrong. The first is when we'll use subcasting. You do not answer the things. You should refer that one, which is the upcasting we are using in runtime polymorphism. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now next is how can achieve multiple ingredients using interface. I'm asking one questions. If I'm not using interface, what is the error we are facing, right? That error name is ambiguity error. Okay. You just clearly get that the specific. Yeah. Yes. And next is what is encapsulations. That also have to get clear. That is wrapping the data to the single unit. It is very important things.
Okay.
And the exception part is you should tell clear answer difference between error and exception.
Okay.
Okay, while you are writing the program, you should find that syntax whether you make it wrong or right. Okay.
Okay.
Next is the how to drag and drop on specific location point. The move offset by first we have to take x and y get location. Then only we can move based on that xy location. You should concentrate that syntax exactly which method we are using, how we can write the format. You should notice that. Okay.
Okay.
And next is which one? 1 minute. I noted.
The scrolling, the JavaScript, scroll up.
Yes. Yeah, scroll down, scroll up, right? That is the XY value. That Y value only it will be put on minus. That time only the page will be scroll up.
Okay.
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 And next is what are the interface we are using for taking screenshot, right?
Yeah, the interface.
So that answer for so that I test result, and next is which is this yeah shoot us. The next is which is taking screenshot. Okay, that gets screenshot us. That method take screenshot. Okay. So mainly we are using I test result interface we are using for capturing the screenshot. Is very important one.
Okay.
And how to identify frame means how to identify frame in web applications. You can right click on there. We can take this frame. This frame will give you the identifications whether the element is specifically inside the frame or not. Based on that only we have to confirm. And another answer you told, which is iframe. But before the basic way we have to get identify the frame. When we can right click on the specific element, there we can get this frame. Okay.
Okay.
And how to handle multiple frame. We can use driver.switch to frame there only we are looping the child frame, parent frame. We are using set iterator or for loop. Better we can use set iterator. Okay. So most of the question I didn't ask you in Selenium because the time is over. If I take more time, it is getting bored. You can go through clearly. That time you will be get confidence. But I will give you rate out of 5 in this interview 3. You should improve the syntax. This is very important. That time you don't want to lose any interview.
Okay.
All the best your career, and whenever you can attend the interview, the end of the time, the final time, interviewer will ask you what is the feedback, right? If you want any ask question, means that time you can ask question. So what are the questions clearly you don't get answered, that time you can ask to interviewer. So for example, you did some wrong answer for some questions, you know very well, that time you can ask interviewer what is the answer for these questions, what I can improve, like that you can ask to him. Okay. And you can ask what is the feedback about my and what I have to improve, like that you can ask to interviewer. Whenever you can attend interview, in that interview you can take or note it all the questions. Okay, so what you did wrong, what you did right, you can note it, and you can rate yourself. Which you did wrong, you can improve in next interview time. Okay, that time you will be get into the best company.
Okay.
And next thing is, I request you, Nisha, you just share your face and you can give me your feedback about this interview. It is very helpful to improving my channel, and it is motivating to other guys also.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Just I'll turn on the video.
Yeah, okay, no problem.
You able to see me?
Yeah, I can able to see you. Thank you for sharing your face in the screen. Yeah, tell me your feedback about this interview and how you can experience this mock interview. I hope it is helpful to you.
Yeah, like it was very helpful. So like in spite of facing like the real interview directly, so it is good to face the mock interview like this, and so like you get the real feedback. So in real interviews we may not get the real feedback, but here like we come to know what we are doing wrong and like what we are doing right. So for that thing, like it will be very helpful. And also like thank you for the feedback. Like it will be like very helpful for me to improve like going further.
Yeah, thank you, Nisha. You are the first guy attending the interview in NATASA Tech. I'm really thankful. So we will meet in next day interview. So in this interview we can take the day 1 is Java+Selenium only.
Yeah, sure.
So the next mock interview you have to cover all the topics. Okay, that time only you can recall all the topics and concepts. It is easy to recall whenever you are attend the real-time interview, right?
Yeah, correct.
So the first day I can skip more questions. The next day I can resume the pending questions. Okay, I will ask in framework itself. Okay, thank you, Nisha.
Sure. Thank you. Bye.
I will give you that the recording session. Okay,
Yeah,
you just evaluate yourself what you did and what we have to improve. You can evaluate yourself. Okay, and so this audio will posted in my YouTube channel also. It is helpful
Yeah.
Get understand how we can move that strategy in interview. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you,
Very
Nisha.
good. Yeah.
Welcome.
Thank
All
you.
the best.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.